All right, friends, let's look and listen so that I can explain to you all the things that you need to know and do for this Model Magic initial texture lesson. First thing, you're going to have a piece of transparency. This is going to be a placemat for the very end when you are finished with your piece, and we want to put it on here because this is a slick surface and it won't stick to it when it dries. So what I need for you to do on this transparency is with a Sharpie down at the bottom, write your name. Okay, so transparency looks like that. You just have your name on it. Okay, so that'll be used like at the very, very end, so you can set this aside. All right, next thing we need to do is when you get your Model Magic piece, you're going to take the little wooden like ice cream spoon. These came from the lunchroom, and you're going to divide this. You need 3/4 for the background and 1/4 for your letter. So if you look at this, and I'm just going to just lightly press, I'm not cutting this in half, don't cut it in half. But if you find the center and you can make a little mark with your little wooden tool, and if I hold this up close, you can see I just made like a little indentation in there. Okay, so I did that. That is half. Okay, so really this is now 2 sections. I didn't split it though. Okay, so I just made a little indentation in it just so I can see visually the 2 halves. In 1/2 of it, divide that in half. So if we ignore this piece right here, I'm gonna put my tool in that section halfway. That's where I want to cut it, okay? So that I end up with this piece is 3/4 and that piece is 1/4, okay? This is going to be like our background piece, like the base for this. This will be, the smaller piece will be what you use for your initial, okay? So set the initial piece to the side because we need to work on the base portion first. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to start to flatten it with your fingers. Do not put this on the table and just like use your fist to mash on it, okay? Because that's too noisy and it makes it really irregular. So you're just going to need to take your fingers because you can feel where the thick spots are, and I am just pressing on it and it is stretching out as I am doing this, okay? So and I'm just kind of pulling gently. We don't want to pull it so much that you rip a hole in it, okay? So you can see how I got that flat. It's kind of thin. There are no holes in it, okay? But I flattened that out so it's pretty even. Then what you're going to do is you're going to select a texture sheet. It does not matter which one. You've got lots to choose from at your table. And if you and the same and somebody else at your table want the same one, just take turns, okay? So let's say that I wanted this one that kind of almost looks like dandelions. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a texture on this base piece. So what you're going to do is you want the bumpy side up so you can feel that. You can feel the bumps of it. And what you're going to do is you're going to lay the piece on and you're going to press it, okay? And what you can even do is you can turn this upside down and put pressure on it that way, okay? So I'm pressing. Okay, I'm going to flip it back over, and then very gently, you got to be very careful not to distort the shape when you do this. Very gently pull this off, and you can see the texture, and I'll bring this up close, the texture that it made in that base piece, okay? So you are going to do that part first. So it was write your name on your little placemat piece with a Sharpie and then put that to the side. And then it was to take your portion of Model Magic and divide it 3/4 and 1/4. And the 3/4 is your background piece, which you flatten out and then create texture on. So let's get that part done first.